Hello, this is Daniel again. Um, Merry Christmas. Um, I'm just playing. Merry Christmas. Come on, I don't believe that shit. uh, um, Hope you guys did good. Had a good day though. It's gonna be the last video of the day. I just wanted to share. I'm not as mad as. Oh yeah, on the last video, I was pissed off. Because of something I saw, and you know, I didn't mean to get all crazy. Just I'm sensitive, Not to sound like a or like I'm a man, Don't I'm a man. Don't worry. Like don't forget. But it's like I'm just sensitive, I am very. I don't know, man. Anyways, so today, two things happened. That was I know for sure it was like divine in nature. Well, everything is divine, but so the first thing was, so um I went to go see somebody, and where he works, that's like an area where like I already know that I shouldn't be at, because it's just nothing good like could come from me being over there. But you know I deceived myself and I said, hey, what's wrong with going and saying hi, so I did, and I stayed there for like a couple hours. It's my homeboy, he works at some place, but it's just like that's not the problem. It's the problem like you know who associates there, and it's just, yeah, it's not a good place. It's just not a good place, It's a lot of evil around. But I went. But the crazy thing was, as soon as I came back, because families started like coming over and all that stuff. Because whether I know Christmas is freaking pagan and all that shit, a lot of my family still doesn't. So what can you do? But what's trippy was, as soon as I walked in and I said hi to everybody, my dad, my dad didn't even like say any. It was crazy. It was like kind of like a. And then after I said hi to everybody, he looked at me. He was like, "There's your Bible. Go get it." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I left my Bible here." And I grabbed it. But then it wasn't just. It was weird because it wasn't just. It was like my dad knew like where I was coming from, but I know he didn't. And it was just odd because my dad's been there all day, and he's seen me coming in and out, and not once did he mention it. But as soon as I did and it go somewhere where I wasn't supposed to go, and I came back, he was like, "There's the Bible, get it." And immediately I felt like, damn, like not in a way where like I'm caught, because God knows everything, but as a way, as like a reminder, like I felt like God was, what I'm saying, like telling me like go into the word, like, like you go read, you need to do that right now. Like put me on a timeout, like check me basically. So that was one. And then the second time I was I went back like probably like an hour ago. Right now it's what, 1 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me, forgive me. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I went back to get a plate because I promised, some dude like some homeless, like the regular homeless guy around the neighborhood. Like I promised that. Well, I didn't promise, but I told him I was gonna do something. So it's a promise to me, because I said it, gave my word. I'm like, hey, I'll get you. I'm like, I'll bring you some food. Don't worry. And so I went inside and I was like, getting food and everything. So I put foil and wrap it in a plate. And my grandma was like sitting there, and my godfather was sitting there. And my godfather, I just met him probably like shoot, four. Sorry, fuck. Um, wonder why that's happening. That was sarcastic. Like I'm pretty sure I know why, but I last time I remember seeing my godfather, I was like a little kid, and because he was in El Salvador, so he couldn't come. But he was there and he was sitting down, and we had like pastries on the table, and I couldn't resist, so I was sitting down and I just wanted to grab it and eat it, but then my grandma was like, you know, grab a plate, sit down, like just old school. And I like that because even though I'm only 27, I consider myself old school because I really don't, I don't know. I believe in customs and stuff like that. It's important and being respectful. But anyways, me and my godfather start talking, and then I just start telling him about what I've been going through, spiritually and my journey and everything. And then I remember saying something like, "Oh yeah, my grandma was saying like, oh, who are you gonna go give the food to? Like, no, don't go out there at this time. It's dangerous. Like they're grown men. They could figure it out." And then I looked at my godfather. I was like, "Yeah, but I don't really like the guy. I don't even like the guy that much, to be honest." And I said, "I'm not there yet, but I know for sure we're commanded to love our enemies. So I don't know. This is a way of me trying to, I guess, because." And then my godfather was like, "Enemies? You got enemies?" I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean I got enemies? Like, don't you know? Like, and I'm like, and I thought he was talking about like enemies. Like, do I have enemies? Like, I thought he was questioning me, like, if I know the person, if it's because of some problems I had with some men, like human men, and that type of situation, like over money or over this, like enemies." But I was like, um, that's the way it is. Like, haven't you heard of like Satan? Like in my head, but I didn't say that. And then he said something very, 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 he said something and it made me think. And he told me a story. And he told me when he was back in El Salvador, he was one of the uh what would you say, gang leaders or shot caller or kingpin, whatever, from that gang in El Salvador. And he told me that he had a lowrider, and my grandma and then my mom and they all confirmed that too. So I didn't know that, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm over here thinking he's just like some but he's like ends up being some like crime lord. But that's besides the point. But he's obviously not that person anymore. But anyways, he tells me a story. He says, Danny or Daniel, there was a time I had a lowrider, and I had speakers. I had a whole system. Sorry. And then one day one of my speakers went missing. The next day, my CD player thing went missing. So I decided that he was telling me he decided to stay, like park the car and stake out and like go hide somewhere to see who was trying to take it from him. And he told me the things that he was gonna do to that person. Like he was thinking like of what he was gonna do when he was sitting there. He was telling me like how he was thinking about like how he was gonna torture him, and I'm like, damn. And then he told me that he got it, and just straight up, he just said like this, and he's like, and then the Lord tapped me on the shoulder, and he said the Lord tapped me on my shoulder and told me, "You see that?" He's like, "You're reaping your harvest," and I looked, and I knew he noticed, because when he said that, you know how dogs, when they look at you, they go like this, and they turn. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what I did, and then I was like, what? I understood, but I was like, just I don't know, man. I was just like, so just amazed of how like quick, or how like I can get like an answer, or I feel like I have a personal relationship with God. Not in a way where I'm special than anybody, but it's just the thing that I can't deny no longer. Confirmation after confirmation, and reality check after reality check. I don't know how many times God has to slap me in the face, but yet He still does. And the one God loveth, He corrected, right? I'm starting to see that. And then my godfather said, like, you just have to focus on doing good, and you have to focus on planting good seeds for a good harvest, because you're gonna reap what you sow. And then like, I was like, damn, he's right, because like when he was looking at what the guys were gonna do, when the Lord tapped him on the shoulder and told him that, I could imagine what my godfather was thinking, like, damn, man, I done that. It's much worse. I done much worse. So I deserve that. But it's like, it's more in a way where it's like, the lesser we give room for the devil, the more close we're being to close to being with God. Um, Evil's always gonna be there, but it's not gonna manage our lives. It's not gonna, affect us in a way where if we were committing, those evil things, reap what you sow. And I was like, damn, like that just got to me like so much. It's not even funny, dude. Like I was just like amazed, but yet I'm so grateful. And oh, and lifesavers, Candace, man, Candace, hearing you say those things, and hearing that God revealed it to you, that of what God told you about me, man, when it's coming from you, or maybe I was always meant to hear it from you, because I don't trust anybody. It's hard to trust anybody. I distance myself from everybody. I don't talk to, like, I'm pretty sure most of these women probably fucking think like I'm gay or something. Or even, I'm being serious, even though like I don't act like it or nothing. It's because I don't, I don't go after them. I don't like pay attention. It's not, sex is not on my mind. It's not like, and a lot of people's, they say things, but they don't mean anything to me because it's them. But when you say something like that, it's like, it's so pleasing, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so thankful, and you know I just have to control myself a little more. I have to put my emotions on check sometimes and not get too over the top. And yeah. Anyways, and I think I'm falling in love, but I'm trying not to, cause I don't even know how the fuck I said that. But anyways, like yeah. So I just wanted to mention that, that happened, and you should always, just pay attention to the signs. Like I'm pretty sure he's talking to you. You just gotta stop ignoring the call. You gotta pick up the phone when he does, and listen. Because he loves you. You know, that's why I'm alive. So before I end this video, um, I just want to read a couple verses from. Let's see. Oh, damn. From James, or what I was talking about. So I'm gonna just read the first few chapters. So it just relates, to everything. James, testing your faith. James, a bond servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes who are dispersed abroad, greetings. Consider it all joy, my brethren, when you encounter various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and let endurance have its perfect result, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. But if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all men generously and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith, without any doubting. For the one who doubts is like the surf of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For let not that man expect that he will receive anything from the Lord, being a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. But let the brother of humble circumstances glory in his high position. I'm just gonna read that. So right there it says, these trials are to perfect us, to make us, you know, it's for our own good, Don't forget that, guys, God is in control of everything. As much as darkness as is around you, because I have dark, like every day it's hard. I know. Like sometimes I just want to like break down and cry and just, but I gotta be tough, It's evil out there. Sometimes I feel like, damn, man, like I'm like, damn, where is everybody? Like, every time I'm out, I'm like, where is everybody? Like, at least like good people, like, where is everybody? I don't see anybody. The only people I do see is the people I see on YouTube. That's it. But I'm never gonna stop. I'm never gonna give up. The only way is by death. And I think they know that. That's why they're doing all of this. Or else they wouldn't be bothering with me, right? Or you. So, and it says you have to trust and have faith that he will give you wisdom if you pray for it. That kind of like makes you want to bring up what the lifesaver Candace said, how when you're declaring and you're decreeing and you're breaking curses and you're binding them, you have to believe what you say so it can manifest in the reality. And that's so true, 100%. As faith, you have to have faith, and the Lord, he promised us, and he even told us to remind him of his promises. That's how loving our God is. And I don't know. That's all I wanted to mention, guys. You guys have a good night. Candace, have a good night. Drive home. Finish work good and get home safe. And all right, guys. Take care. Bye. Love you.